In this video, I'm going to show you one of the best tools for accessing all the flagship models all within a single platform. With ChatPlayground.ai, you get access to over 25 leading AI models. That includes chat models, code generation models, and image generation models. If you had to subscribe to all of these services individually, it will get very expensive very quickly. But the benefit of using Chat Playground is that you get access to all of these models and a lot of additional features, which we will have a look at in this video, all for a flat and predictable monthly fee. The good news is that they do offer a trial period, so you can follow along with this video and try it out for free. With Chat Playground, you can easily switch between the different models to start a new conversation or go back to your conversation history. You can also try and compare different models within a single view to find the best model for your use case. One of the key features of Chat Playground is their browser extension, which allows you to access any of these models at any point in time by simply toggling this little chat window, and then that allows you to chat to the content on any given website. You're not limited to using their flagship models either though. You can actually train your very own custom models and then use them within the app or within the browser extension. This can be super useful for training a model on your own business data or within your own writing style to assist you with things like drafting an email response. The platform also gives you access to additional features like a learning companion that includes a lot of fun features like generating flashcards from PDF documents or chatting with YouTube videos. And they also have this unique feature called Mixture AI, which combines the responses from flagship models to generate improved answers. To get started, go to chatplayground.ai and then click on Get Started. If you want to support my channel, then please use my affiliate link in the description of this video, as I will receive a small commission if you decide to continue your subscription with Chat Playground. After signing in, you should see a page similar to this, asking you to install the Chrome extension. And it's the extension that will allow you to quickly access the application or chat with website content using Chat Playground. To set this up, simply click on Launch yaseen.ai. Then from within the Chrome Web Store, simply click on Add to Chrome, then click on Add Extension, and afterwards we can actually pin this extension by clicking on this puzzle piece, and then we can click on this pin icon next to Yaseen.ai. Now we can quickly access this platform from anywhere by simply clicking on this icon. And you will also notice that you now have this little toggle on the bottom right side of the screen, and if you click on this, it opens up this chat window where you can select any of the models, including your custom models. And of course, if you enable use page content, you will be able to chat with any of the content on the screen. But we'll get back to this later on in the video. For now, let's simply click on Launch Yaseen.ai. After signing in, you will see a list of all the available models, including your custom models. Initially, you won't have any custom models, but I will show you how to create these during the course of this video. On the left-hand side of the screen, you can see all the models that you have pinned. To add a new model to your list of pinned models, all you have to do is enable this toggle. And now we can see Gemma 2 popping up. I'm also going to add Llama 3.2, and let's go down to the image models, and let's enable DALL-E and Flux. And now we can see all those models showing up on the left hand side. Chat Playground also allows you to set up a team, which also means you can invite other people to join your team. And then you can do things like share your custom models with your team members. We can start a conversation with any of these models by simply clicking on the model name. So let's try this out by sending hello. And of course, we get our response back. We can also upload files to this model, and this supports all sorts of file extensions like PDFs, Word documents, Excel spreadsheets, and CSV files. I've uploaded this document containing information about my fictitious restaurant called Oak and Barrel. Let's ask it, what are the current specials? And this response is correct. So what we can do now is either delete this conversation, or we can click on this icon to open up the chat history. And from here we can jump to previous conversations. Chat Playground also gives web access to any of these models. So what we can do is click on New Chat, If we ask the model a question like, what is the latest news on AI? We get a response saying that the model doesn't have access to real-time information. So what we can do instead is enable web access. And if we ask this question again, the system will now do a web search to retrieve the most up-to-date information. Within Chat Playground, you can compare different models within a single view. By default, you can select 2 different models. But if we go to the bottom right, we can change the grid to 3 models, 4 models, 6 models, and we also have this additional feature where we can use multimodal models to chat to images. Let's select a grid with 3 models. And this is where you will start to see the benefit of using something like Chat Playground. You would typically need to have separate subscriptions to each of these services and test them out in different browser windows. But now you can simply select your models and then enter a single prompt like write a game of Snake in Python, and now we can compare the quality of the responses and the speed all within the single view. What I personally like is the fact that these windows retain conversation history, which means we can ask follow-up questions, for instance, write the user manual as well. And because these windows have conversation memory, it will infer that we are referring to the Snake game. And of course, we can now compare the writing capabilities of these different models. So in theory, we could use the code from one model and the user manual from another. We can also test the multimodal support of these models by clicking on this image icon. And then let's upload an image and let's ask, what is this woman doing? And it seems like Bing actually had an issue, but ChatGPT and Gemini both were able to identify the image and provide a proper response. So I'll probably go with one of these 2 models going forward. Before we move away from these chat windows, I do want to show you this prompt feature. So sometimes you might repeat the same prompt over and over again, like please summarize this content or improve this copy. So what you can do is click on prompts, and from here you can find a list of pre-created prompts for different use cases. Or what you can also do is create your own prompts or access prompts that were created by your team members. To create a prompt, simply go to Add Prompt. Let's call this one Summary. For the description, I'll simply enter Summarize Content. For the category, I'll simply create a new category by entering Summary. And within the body, we can type the actual prompt, like Summarize the article. Let's save this. And now going forward, all we have to do is go to our prompts and click on Use next to our prompt. In fact, let's use this Generate a Joke example. And now we can see that that prompt was injected before our own message, but we can simply click on send, and now we get this message saying generate a joke using the previous message as context. So that can definitely be a bit of a time saver. Now let's move on to custom models. We can create our very own models by clicking on custom AI models, then let's click on create new, and here we can give our model a name, and I'm simply going to create a model that's trained on my restaurant's data. That will assist me in drafting emails or write social media posts based on my business's information. Let's call this Oak and Barrel Restaurant with a model description of Restaurant Assistant, and within instructions we can effectively create a system prompt which can define the rules, the tone, and other attributes about this model, like you are an AI assistant called Rob. Respond in a friendly tone, and I'll just leave it at that. We can then go to the knowledge base, and now we can attach different data sources. We can scrape from websites, we can upload files, we can also create our own Q&A document from within the platform, or simply write free-form text. I'll simply upload a Q&A document that I created in Word. We can now create this model, and this will take a minute or 2 to complete. In fact, this took about 4 seconds. And now we can enable this model, which will make it available within our list of AI models. So we can see it over here, and it will be available within the Chrome extension as well. Let's test this model, so I'll click on it. Let's then ask a question like, what are the current specials? And this time I didn't have to upload the file, as this information is now baked into the model's knowledge base. And we do get the correct response back. Great. Now let's have a look at one of the more important features offered by Chat Playground, and that is the browser Copilot. When you go to any website, like this blog about obsistence. So it gives an introduction on something called obsistence and why obsistence matters, etc. So what we can do is click on this toggle, and from here we can access any of the models that we pinned within the app, as well as our custom models. For example, we could use Perplexity to ask questions about up-to-date information, like what is the current weather in Cape Town? And because Perplexity is able to search the web, it is able to give us up-to-date information. Or alternatively, we can ask questions about the page that we're currently on. So let's change the model to GPT-4o. Let's enable use page content, and now we can do something like summarize this page. In fact, let's actually click on our list of prompts and let's click on summarize. Let's send this, and now our assistant summarized the content on this page. This is super helpful. Of course, this assistant can also be extremely useful for assisting with responses to emails. Like, let's open up this email and we can see that this person is asking questions about our menu and our current specials. So let's select our custom model for our restaurant. Let's enable huge page content and let's enter something like respond to this email. And we can see this response saying, "Hi Dave, thanks for reaching out. Yes, we do offer a children's menu." And we can also see that the specials are included in the response as well. And this is all coming from the knowledge base which we added to our custom model. So now we can simply copy this text and respond to Dave. Now let's also have a look at these secondary tools, as these are really cool. First, let's have a look at the document editor. This document editor can help you to refine things like blog posts, scripts, or any type of writing. Let's create a new document and I'll simply call it Flowwise AI and Llama 3.2 script. Let's create a document, and now I'll actually just paste some content from a script that I worked on previously. So here we have the title of the script. We also have the intro and hook and an outline for the script. Now what we can do now is ask an AI assistant to help us with the script. For example, generate 5 alternatives to the title. And this gives us 5 different title ideas. We can also make changes within the editor by simply highlighting text. And this brings up this context menu, which we can use to capitalize words, improve the text, shorten text, or expand text. Let's actually expand this text a bit. So this can be a very useful tool as well. The learning companion is very cool as well. For example, we can create flashcards by uploading a PDF document, linking to a website, or a YouTube video. I'm actually going to provide the URL to my Crew AI tutorial video, and let's say we want about 5 flashcards. This took about a minute, but we now have these flashcards that is based on the content of the video, like the introduction to Crew AI, the framework comparisons, how to install Crew AI, the API configuration, and more. We can also do things like chat with YouTube videos. So I'm going to enter the URL to that Crew AI video, and now we can ask any questions about this video, like summarizing the video, or maybe something like, what are the key concepts that are covered in this video? And yes, this is correct. It's the introduction to Crew AI, the LangChain framework, comparisons to LangChain and AutoGen, setting up the environment, etc. Now let's have a look at one of the coolest features offered by ChatPlayground, and that is Mixture AI. With Mixture AI, you can upload a file or ask any question, and then each of these flagship models will respond. Then the Mixture AI assistant will actually combine these answers to formulate a final and improved answer. So for fun, let's simply say, write a detailed blog providing the core benefits of LLMs and automation tools like N8N in any business. And now each of these models will start doing its work, and after that, Mixture AI will take the responses from each of these models to formulate its own final answer. And this should actually be a very interesting read. If you enjoyed this video, then please hit the like button and subscribe to my channel for more videos on using AI tooling and building AI solutions using no-code and coding libraries. I'll see you in the next one. Bye-bye.